Okay, here we go. All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Membership Monday. Today, we're going to be continuing our discussions about open houses. Um, Sean Carroll is the district membership chair in Conestoga, as well as a volunteer, and I can't tell you how many units down there. And he was more than kind enough to come on and tell us a little bit about how his units run their open houses because they consistently end up being some of the more successful ones in the district. Sean, take it away.
You got it. So thank you for having me on today. We'll touch on the Cub Scout program, obviously, is our biggest one. With PAC 503, we have several other PACs in the area that have adopted some of the same recruiting techniques. Obviously, to plan for our fall open houses and really to recruit year round, the fall open house is our key indicator for how our program is going to go for the rest of the year. So the first part of it is to make sure that you have a plan in place. Make sure that you have a date set aside in mind, that you're going to have some flyers put out, utilize the yard signs we get from our membership specialists for our service area, and really getting that information probably months in advance. So I know Gary was kind enough to give us our yard signs for, we'll say, for PAC 503. And we litter, not to say litter, but we really blast out those signs all around our chartered org, which is St. Matt's Church. And then we also give them out to families as well, starting in probably late July or August to get ready for the September recruitment day. So it all starts off with the planning portion of it. So you got to make sure you have your planning sessions early. We try and have ours. I think the PAC just finished up theirs a few weeks ago, just to settle up on some dates. But the recruitment date was already pre-planned before that, which is why we requested the yard signs to come in, and we keep it basic. Sometimes we do a flyer program. We're lucky enough to have our Cub Master is outside of the Springfield Literacy Center, which is kindergarten, first grade. So she has a table set up there with some infographics, things of that nature. Our calendar of events is always there, so parents know when to come to a recruitment night, and then they also know when the PAC activities will be taking place for the entire scouting calendar year. But like I said, I think the key component of it is the planning portion. So working with the membership specialist, making sure we get everything in time, and we've really tried to broadcast it out through the district as well. I know there's a lot of other PACs that are going to be on the tails of 503 this year and this past year as well with recruitment. So in order to get that plan enacted, you have to be prepared in the first place. I know we've heard that in a bunch of different troops and scouting programs, be prepared, right? So just making sure you have a good solid plan in place, making sure that you staff it appropriately. So when you get to that day, what does it look like? So previously, when I was the committee chair of the PAC, we used to have different stations set up, right? So we would have den leaders manning different stations. We would have the Cub Master would be handling any uniform needs. We would have our fundraiser table available as well, so parents knew what to expect and how to fundraise and what we did for that fundraiser. It's kind of evolved, which everything should. A lot of QR code driven items now, so parents can walk in, scan the QR code, register their scouts right there, so we don't have to have paper applications anymore. And I was there this past fall and watched it, and I mean it was much different than how I used to run it, but like I said, it evolved into a more digital age of things. So making sure you know how you're going to handle the crowds, making sure you have a different activities set up because a lot of times parents are bringing their kids along with them, and it's also a good way to chat up the parents to see what their specialties are. So instead of doing a family talent survey like we've done in the past, we can kind of get that one-on-one interaction with the parent. And we were lucky enough at recruitment time last year, we actually picked up a Lion Den leader and another parent who I believe they were both Eagle Scouts as well, had already done their training online, submitted their clearances before they even came to register their kids. So the word of mouth of the program has been our steadfast and easy to kind of get people in the program. And because we're known for that in Springfield, right? So Cub Scouting, and we have two troops as well in the Springfield area. So a lot of the parents that are coming back used to be former Cubs themselves or were scouts in the troops. But we've had that word of mouth going on for years. I mean, it's just something that's been a steadfast thing in Springfield. So that's the key component of it too, is getting the word of mouth out there, getting your Cub Scouts or your Scouting America troops, your units out there and be seen in the public as well, making sure they're in the 4th of July parades or any parade that you have, or we have Springfield Rocks coming up, I believe in October. I'm sure most of our units are going to have tables set up there, recruiting again. So even though we're going to have a recruitment event in September for PAC 503, and I know PAC 240 as well has a recruitment event coming up, it's still another opportunity a month later to get that recruitment still going again. So
Sweet. So yeah, sounds like really a lot of the key things that help keep you guys successful is planning well ahead,
mm,
utilizing your resources, and making sure that you have a constant presence in the community. This way
right.
people know, hey, scouting is here, it's active, and it's still a great place to send your kids. Um,
And
and it sounds like you're utilizing it all fairly well.
yeah, and I think also, I mean, also you have, especially for Cub Packs, right? So you have different events that they put out for different months of the year. So was always our typical first responder month. And I know within both packs in Springfield, we've had a lot of first responders in our area that have sent their kids through both the programs, both PAC 240 and PAC 503. And then we utilize them as well and partner with them on First Responder Month. We always have the fire department, the police departments there, EMTs, first responders come, and it's a good way for the not only the scouts to be seen, along with that because it's usually in an open area, people driving by and they're going, oh, what's going on over here? And people stop by and frequently ask, hey, what are you guys doing? Well, we're partnering with our first responders, so really just keeping it, I guess, the essentials of it, right? So I mean, I know there's different events you can do for your packs or for your troops monthly. But there's also that cadence, especially at the Cub Scout level, of things that have always worked and that you can try and incorporate back in again. And like I said, especially for National Night Out, this previous one, our local police department was able to help us out with some recruiting as well, which is fantastic because it's not just one or two people sitting there at a table saying, "Hey, would you like to join Cub Scouting, or would you like to join the troop, or here's different options we have available." But really seeing and utilizing that community engagement too. Because like I said, we've had den leaders in the past that have been EMTs, they've been police officers, things of that nature, and we always invite them back. They always have a good conversation with the Cub Scouts, and it's really nice to have that partnership. So it makes it it's a full circle community engagement. We're not just utilizing them once a year to say, hey, can you help us recruit? It's really that engagement because we utilize them for different things, for different awards and different levels of Cub Scouting as well. They go to do visits at the police department, go to do visits at the fire department. And obviously it's fun for the Cub Scouts to see that, but it's what you're not seeing directly in front of you. You're seeing the outside group of community members that are seeing scouts in uniform go in there and do visits and things of that nature. And then they usually post it on their Facebook pages to show the community engagement as well. So like I said, it's a full on press, not just for recruitment, but just to be engaged in the community as well.
So then, once you've kind of gotten out in the community, you've gotten the word out, you've
Mhm.
handed out your flyers. What is your open house recruitment event, whatever you want to call it? What does it look like once you get those families and those parents in the door?
So like I said before, we used to use a round robin type of setup where we have different stations and things of that nature set up, but we have so much information that's given out ahead of time that it's really turnkey at this point. People walk in and there's plenty of folks there at our recruitment events in case there's questions or we need to take the pressure off of somebody. But like I said, we've evolved into using more digital technology, making sure that we have the QR codes there set up. Parents can scan them, or they could. But the thing is, like you said about the planning portion, those things are already built in months before. So when we're doing the back to school night and we have our Cub Master there, she's able to provide that information so parents can do it at the convenience of their own home. They can do it wherever they're at. So when they're coming, they're already in the system, and under Base Scout we get the registrations in there, and we're just clicking a button and going. I mean, I think it's still good to have the round robins, especially if you don't have a good open house day set up already. It's good to go to see that. I mean, it can be kind of pressure situations for some of these new parents that don't know about scouting because they see all these people in uniforms and things of that nature. Again, keep it simple. dress it down a little bit. We do have folks in uniform, but they're just members of the community that are just looking for information at that point, and you don't want to kind of bombard them with things, right? So you give them the information early, they can look and research it on their own, and then they usually come out. I mean, I think every fall, registration wise for PAC 503, we're in the, probably 20 to 35 new scout range after our open house, and then we're generating more after that as well. Um, and I hate to keep using them as an example. All the packs in the area do a great job, but if you don't have a good open house set up just yet, that round robin situation might be a good way to get people interactive, because they might have to go to different stations and find out. Maybe this person wants to find out a little bit more about what fundraising the unit does. Maybe another station is set up for, this is what a uniform looks like, and you have the uniform set out. So it's, again, you still have to plan for it, but you just have to find out what works for you. And then once you gear it up, then you can kind of evolve into a more streamlined process, probably, if that's what works for you.
And any recommendations for, because obviously, if a unit does choose to adopt that model,
Mhm.
uh, they're going to be occupied asking their questions, going from station to station.
Right.
Any recommendations for keeping the little ones occupied while
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, we
parents and
have.
guardians are going around for that?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's the different things that we can get from the membership specialists as well. I mean, you have the frisbees that you can utilize. At one point, I think we had a one of those little racetracks we got from Amazon. It's kind of like it was a what do you call them? It's a Pinewood Derby track, but it's not a Pinewood Derby car. It's like the little I forget the name of the cars already. Matchbox cars, like a
There
Matchbox
you go.
racer kind of thing. And they're cheap. I mean, you could probably pick them up, or you could probably find one from one of the parents in your unit already, I'm sure. But there's different ways you could have your most definitely have a den chief there
Mm.
to engage and keep some little things going on, have some activities for the kids to keep going. I mean, obviously, if you're going to have a wide range of age groups with you, but having your den chief or den chiefs available as well on the day of your recruitment, that takes a lot of pressure off of the adults that are there to answer questions. And not only that, also have a new member coordinator as well, take pressure off the cub master and the den leaders, or have multiple ones, obviously, if you're a large unit. But I think, again, that's all the planning phase of it. So you have to make sure that you have things set up and ready to go, because a lot of times parents are trying to fill out paperwork, or they're going to ask questions, and the kids are excited as well, and they're like, yeah, I want to join, let's go. And a lot of that information gets lost because you're not focused on one thing, you're focused on taking care of your child as well. So making sure that you have activities planned for them in the general area, because obviously if it's a parent that's not used to scouting, I mean, we have one family that I think has gone through the pack with 4 or 5 kids, so they've been scouting for a long time. So I mean, they're just used to doing what they need to do, and they get in, they get out. For the new parents that are new to scouting, especially when you go to like a lot of the sporting type signups, right? So when you get there, it's basically, hey, here's the application, fill it out, and when you go down to the next station, that's where you pay, right? So having all that QR code stuff ready to go from your Boy Scout pin is clutch, because parents can fill it out and they can pre-register, they can read through everything on their own time, and making sure that they can give the attention where they need to
Mm.
at the day of the event. So having all that stuff ready to go, and I know it's a plug for Ring the Bell, but making sure your unit pin's updated, making sure the information that's on there that's accurate, making sure that the person that is the contact person, if there's any questions the parents have before they come to the open house or any event, um, is all updated and ready to go, because everything is there at your disposal. You don't have to make up your own QR codes for anything. Everything is provided to you. As long, obviously any unit that's on Be a Scout has a QR code. You can update the email address, the contact phone number, the contact person's name. So again, that's your first step if you're a new unit or a unit that's struggled in the past with recruitment, making sure all that, what I call the admin work, is done in advance, and it takes minutes to do to update it. So, and then you also get credit for making sure your pin's updated for Ring the Bell program.
Yep. And tying the planning back into that, to ring your bell for membership, it's also important that you submit your open house or
Right.
recruitment event at least 2 weeks in advance to our council website, scoutingphilly.org/recruit.
Hmm.
From there, we'll get all the information that we need, whether you want flyers, when it's going to be, where it's going to be, if you
Right.
have a rain date, etc. This way, myself or your local membership specialist can reach out, see when they can provide everything to you, and if there's any other little bits and bops that you may need. But
Yeah.
I believe we are coming up on our time. So, Sean, any final tips or words of wisdom for the
Just
folks
one
out?
last, yeah, just one last thing. I mean, I know we started talking about fall recruitment early spring at our roundtable. So, we put the bug in early on in Conestoga to say, hey, listen, if you need stuff, don't wait for that 2 week period. Like get it to Gary now, or get it if it's another district, get it to your membership specialist and have them pre-print things and ready to go. I mean, obviously you might not know your date, but at least we can get the message out there and get them in contact with the right people, because a lot of times folks probably say, oh, I don't know where to go. Well, all the information is given to you, so you don't want to wait until like June at a round table to say, hey, this is our last time we're going to see each other until September, because most of the recruitment is happening before or right same week of the September roundtable, right? So making sure that you have that pre-planning going on, you know who to contact at council level and utilize your professionals and give them the time that they need to get this done, because it's not just our unit, it's not just PAC 503 going to Gary saying, hey, we need this. Okay. There's, 20 or 30 other units at the same time that are going to be looking for the same thing. So make sure you give your professionals enough time to get what you need and take the pressure off of yourself. And more importantly, take the pressure off the professional as well. So,
All right. Well, thank you very much, Saul.
of
We
course,
really appreciate you taking some time to talk to
no
everyone
worries.
about this.
And if anybody
Uh,
has any questions, they can reach out to me. I don't know if you can put it on the live, and well, we'll probably put it in the chat, or I can do it on the live afterwards. I'll comment with my information if somebody has questions. They want to get
yeah,
more in depth with it.
sounds good.
All
Thank
right.
you all for joining us for another Membership Monday. There is a link in the comments if you'd like to leave a rating of the series so far, as well as leave a question for our staff Q&A that's going to be coming up at the end of the series. So we hope to hear from you there. Anyway, thank you all, and we'll see you next week.
All right. See you later. Thank you.